the notes that go with Monday and Tuesday, the 25th and the 26th. Don't forget, if you watch the notes, fill out the notes in Google Classroom, you can get some extra credit. These notes aren't going to be due until the weekend before we get back. So you've got nearly a week to fill out these notes. So everything we've done for the most part, this section has involved some kind of a proportion. These aren't any different. So I've got a triangle here. So with my triangle, I've got a parallel line somewhere in the middle of this triangle. It's not exactly in the middle. It's just somewhere inside the triangle. So what we're going to do here is we're going to line this up to make a proportion. So wherever I see a question mark, I'm going to go ahead and put an X. So I can line up 3, line that up with the X. So 3 can go over X equals, I can line up 5 with the 10. Now notice I always want to keep going the same direction. So 3 over X, 5 over 10. Don't go 3 over X, 10 over 5, because then my arrow would have changed directions. That's the big thing on proportions. You've got to keep consistent. Do your cross multiplication. 5x equals 30. X equals 6. So this segment here would be 6, which makes sense. 3, twice as big as 6. 5, twice as big as 10. So we're in good shape. So that's the first one. Number 2, same basic idea. Put an X wherever the question mark is. So there's my X. So 10 can line up with 15. I'm going that way. So 10 over 15 equals, then you can line up 4 with the X. Again, I want to go that way. You always want to keep going the same direction. 4 over X. There's my setup. Cross multiply. 10x equals, when I do this multiplication, I get 60. So after I do the cross multiplication, 10x equals 60. Divide, x equals 6. So I get a 6 here. So that's the segment. So that's 1 and 2. Those are pretty self-explanatory. No real surprises on 1 and 2. So make sure you fill out the notes. When you're filling out the notes, I've got to see your proportions. I've got to see that work. Let's go and scroll down to the next 2. Next 2 are a little bit trickier, but they're still not bad. For the most part, none of these are that bad. So 3, 4. Question mark. I'm going to go ahead and put an X. Now notice that was the entire side, which means I need this entire side. Well, 1 plus 4, I'm going to put a 5 there. So 5 can line up with X. 5 over X equals, then go ahead and do 1. There's nothing here I can line it up with, but I can do the 4 and the 8. That I can line up. So 4 over 8. 4x equals 40. X equals 10. So I get a 10 there. So this total side is 10. And again, 4 twice as big was 8. 5 twice as big as 10. So it makes sense. Number 4 here. Again, I've got an entire side, which means I need this entire side. I can put a 9 here. 5 plus 4 is 9. So put a 9. So 18 will line up with the 9. Equals, I've got an X here. That's going to line up with the 4. So X lines up with 4. Again, 18 to 9, I'm going this way. X over 4, I'm still going that way. So X over 4. There's my setup. So 9X equals 72. X equals 8. So this would be an 8 here. 4, twice as big as 8. 9, twice as big as 18. So it worked out. So there's 3 and 4. There's 3 and 4. Little bit trickier because I'm working off some totals, but still not too bad. Just make sure to keep the proportions set up. Don't change them around. Got to be consistent. Next 2. Now the next 2, again, I've got a question mark. They look a little bit different, but they're still pretty much the same thing. Because I could finish off this triangle. So I've got this triangle here, but instead of just splitting it somewhere once, they split it twice. So I've got 3 parallel segments, which are still going to create these proportional parts. So I can do 16 over 12. Again, I'm going that way. So I want to continue going that way. So I can do x over 15. That's my proportion. Let me grab my calculator for this guy. 12x equals 16 times 15 is 240. Divide by 12, I get 20. So therefore, this segment right here is 20. That's going to be a 20. 6 is pretty much the same thing. I can put an x here. So 10 is going to line up with the x. So 10 over x equals 8's going to line up with the 12. And again, I want to keep going that direction. Don't change directions on me. 8 over 12. 8x equals 120. So 120 divided by 8, I get 15. So x equals 15. So this is going to be a 15. That's my setup. That's my setup. So 5 and 6, a little bit different because there's multiple parallel lines, but that doesn't really change too much. 120. Let's go and switch to the next two. Seven and 8. 8 is the entire side. I can put an x here. So x and the 2 can line up. I'm going to go this way. So 2 can line up with the x. I've got a 9 here, but I don't have anything here, but I can find out what's here. Because whatever's here, I can take 8, subtract the 2, and I can get a 6 here. So 6 can go over the 9. So this one was a little bit tricky because I had to find that missing number. The 8 didn't really help me in the proportion. So 6 over 9. 6x equals 18, x equals 3. So this missing piece is 3. 6, 2. 2 times 3 was 6. 3, 9. 3 times 3 is 9. So it makes sense. 7 is going to line up with this. So 7 lines up with the x. Total side, total side. Now on this one, I've got a 6 here, nothing here. 4 here, nothing here. This is going to be the easier one to find because I can just subtract to get the 3 here. This one is going to be trickier. I mean, yes, I could do x subtract 6, but that's going to make a bit of a mess. So let's put a 3 here. Because 3 plus 4 is 7. So the 3 and the 6 can line up. So I can do 7 over x, 3 over 6. 3x equals 42. 42 divided by the 3, I get 14. X is 14. So this would be a 14 here. And again, it makes sense. 3, 6 is twice bigger. 7, 14 is twice bigger. It makes sense. So that's 7 and 8. Now 9 and 10 are a little bit trickier because they take some more of an equation. So the last two. So the last two, this can line up with this, and then the 6 can line up with the 3. That's what can line up. So 6 over 3 equals 3x minus 5 over 5. Notice I'm always going the same direction. Don't change directions on me. Multiply your diagonals. Now, like I said, this is going to take a little bit more of an equation. So distribute the 3. 9x minus 45 equals 30. Whoop, 9x minus 15. I got ahead of myself. Equals 30. Add the 15. There's where I get the 45. X equals 5. So therefore, x is 5. Now, you don't have to plug it back in, but I'm going to go ahead and plug it back in just so you can see it makes sense. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 minus 5 is 10. So this segment's 10. So yeah, 3 twice as big as 6. 5 twice as big as 10. So it makes sense. And number 10, the last one. Total sought, which means I need the total side there. 6 plus 9, 3 is 9. So 4x can line up with the 9. Equals, now 8 and 6 can line up. I don't have anything here, so I don't really have anything to line up with the 3. So I can do the 8 and the 6. 8 lined up with 6. I kept going this direction. Don't change directions. 4x, 9, 8, 6. So 24x equals 72. X equals 3. So x is 3. Now again, I can go ahead and plug it in just to see if it makes sense. 4 times 3 is 12. You don't have to, but that kind of tells me it makes sense. So, like I said, this is the notes from Monday, Tuesday, the side splitter notes. Fill out the notes, turn them in Google Classroom, get some extra credit. The homework is set up the exact same way. There's 10 questions on the homework, set up the exact same way. Make sure you get the homework done. Like I said in class, we're trying to improve some of these grades, and you still have time to do that. Have a wonderful rest of the day whenever you watch this. We've got one more set of remote notes, and then that'll finish up the remote. Take care.